Well, hello and welcome everyone to today's webcast, where our presenter Barb Nash will lead us through learning Autodesk Vault Fundamentals in under 60 minutes. So the clock has started, Barb. I will now pass things on over to you.
Thank you, Corinne, and hello everyone. So like Corinne said, we're going to learn Vault Fundamentals in under 60 minutes, and I'll go into what that really means on following slides. But for now, I will reference down below there the three references. So there are two student guides there, the Autodesk Vault Professional 2019 Data Management for Inventor users and the one for Autocad users. Both are being used within this presentation from a content perspective. The first one is already released. The second one is soon to be released. And then the third point there, Autodesk Vault Customer eLearning Components, what that means is that this webcast is basically contained in an e-learning module. As you've probably guessed from the orientation on the left, there's a navigation, basically the table of contents. And so we're going to be showing the components of an e-learning module, such as the navigation, as well as the videos and the software simulations as being components, as well as the knowledge checks that Corinne has mentioned. So there will be a few knowledge checks. They're not hard, but like Corinne said, just to keep it interactive and keep things moving. So I will proceed here to the next slide. And just to point out the different areas of the interface, there's a search. And again, it's just to show you what we've used for certain projects, custom projects, typically for customers, for Vault and other products. So we have the table of contents here, and it can also be used for navigation and the play bar. There's also over here the closed caption ability and audio. It could be a live voice, but I'm speaking live, so we don't need that. But also, it could be text-to-speech, or sorry, text-to-speech robotic type voices have come a long way as well. So that's just mentioning what we have done for other customers. So that is the orientation, and now to the agenda. So we're going to learn Vault in under 60 minutes, or at least the fundamentals. I want to strongly say fundamentals. And what we're going to be covering are the interfaces. So we'll start with the Vault client interface, and then also later get into the Vault add-in interfaces for Autocad and Inventor. And go into searching, going through all the different searching methods. And this is really where we do all the checking in and checking out of the design files and version control, basically. And then we'll wrap up. I'll show a responsive module, so an e-learning module that can be played on various devices, and then we'll end with questions. Okay, so the first one, the intro and Autodesk workflow. So you're probably all from varying levels of experience of AutoCAD or of Autodesk Vault, but you've probably all become aware of really what some of the benefits are, and really the fact that it's secure, easy to use. It really does provide you the management for your CAD and non-CAD design data to make sure that your files aren't accidentally overwritten, and you know who's working on what. And basically, you're able to share all your design data in a secure environment. The next one, new design and release processes, it is fully capable with the, well, I won't say fully, but it does have engineering change order capabilities and so forth. We won't be getting into that as much during this fundamental webcast, but just to be aware that that is something that Vault is capable of. And the analysis, reuse, and collaboration, again, there are many tools that allow for this. For reuse, copy design is great, and there's some new collaboration features coming out as well, and are out. So that is really just in a nutshell, the features and benefits, but we're really going to be focusing on a lot of the searching and version control features in this webcast. Okay, so the typical workflow is that we log into Vault either through the Vault client or the add-in for Inventor, Autocad, or another integration software such as Revit, for example. And then if you're doing a change, you would search for your design files. If it's a new design, then you would, of course, start that new design fresh. And then you would check out. And when you do the checkout and get and download all your files that require changes to your local folder, it makes those files inaccessible to other users so that you can be sure that no one else is making changes to those same files. You can then make those design changes, and then once you're finished, you can check into Vault, so basically uploading all your files, your changes, to then be able to be seen and accessed by others. So I thought I'd just show the login screen there because I don't have it anywhere else. So that would be the first step. And then the next step, we get into the Vault client interface. So we're just going to show the example of the client interface first. So here it is. We can see the various areas: navigation panel, shortcuts panel, main panel, information panel, and properties panel. So I'm just going to click on each one and see what it says. So it shows me that it shows my designs in a tree-like view, showing the various folders, and we'll be showing an example of how I can browse through those folders. The shortcuts panel shows files that you may want to be able to quickly get to in Vault. So I would just simply click on this vice.iam and it would pull it up. The main panel is where all the files in that particular folder are shown. And then depending on the file that's selected, you would then see what details you can have available to you. So history displays the revision and version history details. The uses tab lists all the files that are used in that selected model. The where used lists all the files that reference the selected file. And then the preview allows you to really view the particular file that you're selecting. You can display it in a viewer, analyze it, and things like that. And then the properties panel gives you all your details, such as the system properties and as well as the user-defined properties. So that is the Vault client interface, also known as the Vault Explorer. And then I'll hand it over to Corinne for the first knowledge check.
Okay, great. Thanks, Barb. So our first knowledge check here, select the name of the highlighted area of the Vault client interface. So this is a multiple choice. We've got navigation panel, main panel, properties grid, toolbars, or preview panel. So what I think the easiest thing for you to do would just be to put A, B, C, D, or E into the Q&A or the chat window. Do that now, and I will have a look here, and I'll give your answers to Barb as I see them come in.
Hope it wasn't too hard.
Well, I've got a few. Okay, okay. So far, I don't know if I want to give it away quite yet if people are still answering, but so far everyone's answering the same.
Oh, good.
That could be good if the answer is correct. Yep. Okay. Actually, everyone's getting it. So, are you ready, Barb? Anyone else?
I'm ready. Which one is it?
Okay. You want to put the answer first?
Yes. I hope.
There we go.
Hope everyone did this one.
Yeah, we got smart people in this call. Everyone put B.
So yeah, a lot of you know, if you're communicating with coworkers, it's nice to say, you know, give the areas, you know, their proper names. So anyway, yes, main panel is the answer to that one. Okay, and moving on, I thought I'd just give a quick snapshot of the other interfaces before moving on to searching. So this is the Autocad Vaults add-in interface, so we'll be definitely talking more about this. So you can see that there's a Vault tab and the Vault ribbon with the various commands that we'll talk more about. And then this is the XREF Manager. For those who have used AutoCAD, of course, they'll know it, and you'll see that Vault uses it and integrates with it, and essentially these are the files that are are active and what the status is in the Vault. Okay, this is the Inventor Vault add-in interface, and again, similar layout with the Vault tab and Vault ribbon, and here we have the Vault browser that gives us the status of the files and the display files and what their status is in the Vault. Okay, so moving on to searching. Okay, the searching methods. So there are a number of searching methods, each with their own benefits and advantages. So I'm going to be showing all of them. So the first one is navigating and browsing folder structure. So that one, very straightforward. So similar to what you're used to in a File Explorer type application or Outlook, for instance. Then we've got the quick search and basic find. So similar in that you type the text and it searches on all the file properties of the objects within the folders. Okay, so this basic is after you pick the Find button from the toolbar. And then we have Query Builder, which is very powerful, and it's easy to access right next to the Quick Search by picking that button. And it searches on selected properties based on entered values. So you can basically select the properties that you want. The Advanced Find, very powerful as well. So once you pick the Find dialog, then you pick the Advanced tab, and you can specify and search on selected properties based on conditions and values specified. So those are the searching methods at a glance, and now we will take a look. Okay, before we actually take a look, we'll take a look at what the wildcards and Boolean operators are that we can use. So, oops, let me just click the right thing there. So the asterisk represents any characters. You've probably all used this one, and it's very handy to use in Vault as well. So pretty much anywhere, I think. Single character, I'll just go through these quickly. The and can be used as well. There you can see, so bottom and the asterisk.gif brings up this file. The or also can be used. Again, depending on how extensive your database is, you may find that you're starting to use the and ors a lot. And then there's not, which I find pretty handy within the query builder. So if I'm not looking for certain things, and then the actual phrases can be used with asterisks. So very similar to some Google searches and other searches that you may have used. Okay, so here we have our first demo, or video demo, I'll call it. So just navigating and browsing the folder structure. So it's not very long, but just wanted to show some of the features also of video demos. So we can have notes up and notes to say double click to expand, and we double click again on the designs to expand, or the plus sign, or I can rewind it and just, go through that slower. I can also expand it to full screen and maybe just finish it off there. So this is just describing how to browse. Once we select a folder, up the files come that are in that folder, and we then select that file that we want to see details about. And here we can see the history. Here we've got 5 versions of this assembly, And then we also have the properties here showing the system properties, but down below would be the user-defined properties. Okay, so that's the navigating browsing folder structure. Now I'm going to show the rest of the searching with a simulation. So I will begin this, and first of all, we're going to take a look at the quick search. So this is a simulation, and a definition of this is that it will be like I'm using the software, but I'm actually not. So it's just all within the eLearning module. I don't need to worry about resetting a training database. Essentially, it's like the user is using the software and they can repeat any steps that they want without having to reset a server. Okay, so here I have prompts to tell me what to do, but you could set it up any way that you want. Basically, I'm typing my text in and picking the search, or you could press enter and selecting a file to see its details, clearing the search. Now I'll show searching file content. So I'm going to type in cloth. So I'm looking for files that have the word cloth in their properties, but also within their file details. So what happens first here is that nothing shows. So I'm going to first now see if I've actually put that option on, and I hadn't. So I'm going to pick that. So I assure you I did there, and then it comes up with something. So just to make sure, now I can take a look at that file and open it. And again, if you didn't want it to be like hand-holding, telling somebody what exactly to do, you could just put notes in general, and if they've got it wrong, you know, twice, then a hint could come up. But here I'm just putting everything. Okay, I'm not going to check it out. It automatically prompts me to see if I wanted to check it out, but no, I'm not going to. And I see that the word cloth is in there as expected. Okay, and I'll clear the search again. Okay, so we've seen the file content search. Now we're on to recent searches. And it can be found here, recent searches, yep. So these are the searches I just did, and I want to now go back to the plan search that I did. So I'll just pick plan, and up comes the results like before. So I'm just kind of going through each of the search options. So basic find was another one. So I pick the find button there, pick the basic tab, click in the search area, type in my text, pick find, and the results are shown. And for your information, you can act on these files as well from this dialog box. So you could do a right click and open it up if you wanted, or even check out or check in depending on what file it is. So now the advanced find, we pick the advanced find tab. And we can select any property that we want. So I guess in this case, I should explain maybe that first search brought back too many files, and I want to narrow the search, so refine that search. So I'm going to pick title, and I want to only find the files that have the word first in the title, not all properties. So I'll add that to the list. Find, and I can see now that the list is much shorter. So these are the ones that have the word first in the title. Okay, now Query Builder. We pick this to pull it down, and we can type in here, okay, using the same example. We can see that big list again, or we can narrow it by adding criteria of title and typing in first. So I'm just typing it in just like I would in the actual software. And again, I get those same 3 files. So just to maybe also highlight software simulations, just the functionality, I could just go back and repeat certain things if I wanted. So without resetting the database, just going back, doing what I need to. So just to explain that. Or I can just fast forward and get to the next thing. So that was a simulation on searching. Now we'll talk about saving searches. So it's often the case that you want to save a search so that you can use it again and again. And so here we have that we can do that from any of the options, from Query Builder, from Quick Search, or from the Find dialog box. And no matter what choice, whichever option you decide to use, the same window will come up, prompting you to specify a search name. And then the Save As folder on the interface, that was the on the left, and I'll point it out in in the video here where that is. Okay, so this is another simulation, but a quick one. So there we have Save Search, and here's the My Search folders, by the way. So I'm going to type the name of it. And here we have it, Save Search for first. I guess it wasn't expanded before. And so we'll just close the Query Builder, click it, and up come the search results. So that's how that Save As folder option works. It puts it in with all the other searches that you may have had. One of the notes there mentioned this checked in today, and that was a handy one. So a lot of customers we find like to have a search that shows them what they've checked in themselves, so before they go home for the day, they can see what they've worked on. So to show that one, we can go back into the Find dialog and see all the saved searches. This is where you can also manage them. You can change them up in any way. But I'm going to pick the Checked In Today search, Save Search, and open it. And you can see that it's defined here, and this is what the, I guess the only file that I've checked in, or at least was checked in today. I didn't specify who, but that's the result of that one. Okay, so that's that simulation complete. And now we're on to adding, modifying design. Sorry, I guess I didn't have a knowledge check yet, so we'll just keep on moving. So here we're going to actually show 3 different videos with some explanation of how to modify your non-CAD files, AutoCAD files, and Inventor files. But first, I think it's important to understand the concept of the folder structure, the Vault folder structure, and the local folder structure, and the working folder. So a working folder is located on your PC, and it's mapped to the Project Explorer, the top level of the folder structure. So they're parallel, and the folder structure used in Vault is automatically replicated below the working folder. So here in this example, it's Vault_work, just an example of a working folder. It could be anything. And you can see here that this is on your PC, this is on your Vault, and it's matching. So that's just the concept I wanted to make sure you're aware of, and the working folder is key in knowing how to manage your files. And if you want to clean that out every day, that's a good best practice, as long as you know that you've checked in at the end of the day. Okay, so adding non-CAD files to the Vault, there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can use the Add Files command from the navigation pane, so right-click and select Add Files, or you can drag and drop. Both methods come up with this dialog. You can confirm what file or files that you're adding and add a comment to go with it. Oops, and I should go back and Sorry about that. And you can also delete the working copies that I mentioned after adding them, or you could keep them locally. Okay, these commands are ones that are common to all files, and so I will just go through. We are going to take a look at get in detail in the video for the non-CAD files example. But yeah, get is used to download. As well, you have the option to check out the files. So right-click, get, and up comes a dialog that we'll see in a second. Check out, however, does not download to the working folder. So that's a big difference between the two commands. So at one time in the Vault history it may have, but now for sure it doesn't. So it just simply prevents other users from modifying the file. So it's still useful, but it doesn't download the file to the working folder. And then open can be used to check out the latest version of a file and open it in its associated application. You will be prompted if you want to check it out or not. And then undo checkout is kind of like an undo operation, and it basically cancels the change and gets you back to where you were before that checkout operation. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. So this is just a video, and I'll talk through it. So I'm dragging this assembly instructions.txt into the documentation folder. So I can confirm, yep, this is the file that I wanted to check in and add to the vault, added my comments, and clicked OK. I can see it there, looks good. You'll notice that there is no local file, or no, I'm pointing to the version 1 of it, and then there's no local file. So I'll explain that Vault file status icon in a second. And if I pick get, so let's say I do want to do a checkout operation and download it, this is the get dialog. And oops, I shouldn't have done that. So down below there is are two numbers, the checked out number of files and the downloaded ones. So I picked check out, I think I just stopped it. So we can select here or we can select here to check out a file. And if you can see this okay, it basically made that number 1. So now I know that I am definitely downloading it and checking it out. And it just shows the vault path. It's in the documentation folder. I click OK. And it is now checked out. So as seen by that check mark, and the circle means that it's downloaded. So I can now open it, make a change. And in this case, I'm going to insert the 4 bolts for step 4. And then exit, make sure I save the changes. And now I'm ready. Okay, before I check it in, you can see the green means it's saved locally. So local file modified, it says there. And now I can check it in, add any comments. Click OK. Oh, and again, those same options. So in this case, let's pick delete working copy. And you can see that now that circle does not exist again. So I've removed it, cleaned it up. I know I have version 2 in the vault, safely stored, so I don't need to keep it locally. So that is that video. So that's working with non-CAD files. So let's move on here. And Corrine, I'd like to pass it over to you for the next knowledge check.
For sure. Thanks, Barb. Okay, what is a working folder? Select an option, then click Submit. That would be what you would do if you were doing this through the e-learning portal. But in here, you can use your chat or Q&A window to put one of these answers, A, B, C, or D. So our answers are A, central repository for data, B, a location on the client machine to which design files are downloaded from the Vault, C, a location in the Vault that contains your design files, or D, all of the above. Whew. I know, I don't like those all of the above. So put A, B, C, or D in here, and you'll see it. So far I've got a couple of different answers coming in. I see, several different answers coming in. I don't know, this might be an all of the above. I see a B coming in, I've got C's, I had a D. So we've got answers kind of all over here, Barb. Okay, if you want to.
You know, maybe I should have said in the Vault context. Anyway, it kind of, you know, I can actually understand, where people are coming from. I think the wording could be worked on. I'll make a note of that.
Yes, maybe we've got about two C, a couple of C's, we have several B's, and a few D's. So you want to let us know what?
Okay. So let's say I do pick an incorrect answer. So let's see. So it's incorrect. We've set it up so that it actually does tell you the answer, and it tells you to select the correct option to be able to move forward. So I'm going to click it. So a location on the client machine to which design files are downloaded from the Vault. I have to admit that I can see where people were coming from with the other answers, and I've taken a note of that. But it is an important concept, that working folder, because it is something that you can clean out regularly because you know that the files are actually up in the Vault safely if you've done a check-in. Okay, so thank you for answering that and for the feedback. And here I've mentioned briefly some of these Vault status icons. So there is a list of them. I'm not going to go through each and every one of them, but it gives you an idea that, you know, the circles mean that it's been downloaded locally to the working folders. So it's within the working folder structure, basically. So then we've got the check, of course, that shows that it's actually checked out so that you can do your modifications. But if you want somebody else to access it, make sure you check it in. Okay, so moving on. So we did a non-CAD file example with that text file. Now we're moving on to Autocad and the Vault add-in. So this, at a glance, is the add-in that we looked briefly at before. So we've got the quick access toolbar with the open and open from Vault commands. They're also here, open, or well, just open from Vault, I should say, is here, which is from this Vault tab. The XREF Manager, which I find is very useful for being able to use. I find I use this more than the commands up in the ribbon, just depending on if you're used to using it or not. And then if you want to go back to that Vault client interface, you just simply pick Autodesk Vault. Okay, and similarly, we have the commands here of open. Well, not really similarly, but you'll see that in Inventor they're similar too. But open is not to be confused with open from Vault, so I will explain more. So this allows you to select a file in the same way you would traditionally open a file from a server or from your computer. So it's basically open from your local PC. It doesn't have to be from the local folder. So this could be an example where you haven't yet checked in a file. So it's a brand new design that you've worked on. You haven't done anything in Vault yet. So you're going to just open it in AutoCAD, and then you can check it in. Open from Vault. So different from open from Vault does definitely look to the Vault when opening a file. So this is something that's already been checked in and added for the first time to Vault. And then attach from Vault allows you to attach any file as an XREF from the Vault. So that is that. You'll notice that check in and check out is in the ribbon as well. And now we will take a look. Oh, yes. Oh, sure.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. It was right at this a couple of minutes ago. They were asking if it was cloud-based login or is it Vault local machine? Is that something that makes sense to answer now?
So it's not cloud. So this is the Vault Professional version that I'm using, the Vault Professional software that I'm using. So there is a Vault server, but I wouldn't confuse it with the cloud versions of software that Autodesk have, if that helps.
Okay. All right, thank you.
But yeah, if needed, I can reply more with other things. But right now, just straight Vault Professional software is what I'm using. Okay, whoops. So I'm going to play this. So now we're working with AutoCAD, so I'll just keep the title up there, but I could expand it. So maybe I'll just replay it, which can be very handy. So I'm using Open from Vault. So it's on the Vault tab. It's Open from Vault. These are the list of files within the Vault itself. So I'm going to, in this case, I'm just showing the options, but I'm just going to open it and have the system prompt me to check out or open it as read-only. So in that case, I picked check out because I want to modify it. So right now I'm going to do my modification. I'm going to delete the lawn and then take a look at the external references. I can see here, maybe just to pause it for a second here. So the drawing that I have up is called Walkthrough. I've checked it out when I opened it. It has an XREF. The ASCENT logo is an XREF, and I can see it all nicely, clearly here. The file has been downloaded and is checked out as you can see by that file status icon. I'll keep on going here. I save it because I'm now wanting to check it in. I can see it's now green again because it's been modified. Right-click, check in, so that it uploads to the Vault. And I can add my comments again. I removed the lawn. So that's an Open from Vault, check out, modify, and check in. Okay. Now, okay, so now I'd like to show what if I accidentally deleted something that I didn't want. So I've checked it out, but I've deleted something now that I don't want to have done. So I want to undo basically what I just did. And this is a good opportunity, a good spot to use undo checkout. So simply, just like you would use an undo command, undo checkout, and everything's back to how you want it before that checkout was done. And that's that video. And another knowledge check. Corinne, if you can go ahead with this knowledge check, that would be great.
Okay, everyone. How does the Open from Vault command work? A, selects an XREF from the Vault. B, selects a file from the Vault. C, selects a file from the local workspace, or D, none of the above. So if you want to put your answer, A, B, C, or D, into either the chat or the Q&A window here within WebEx for this call today, we will have a look and see what your answers are. Okay, oh, we've got lots of B's are coming in. Everyone seems to be in agreement on this one, Barb.
Yes, perfect. Excellent listening.
Right.
Yep,
right.
That is correct. So, yep, definitely coming from the vault versus from the local folder. So just to be aware, because they both say open, but yeah, the open from vault, you'll know soon enough that it's looking at the vault folders versus the file, but sometimes it can be misleading. Okay, so now we have working with Inventor files. So we have the Inventor Vault add-in, and so again, we've got the Vault ribbon, but the big thing to highlight here is the Vault browser. So really handy to use. It's right within the interface. You don't need to go back to the Vault client unless you want to. So a lot, work with both, but it's all here for things like checking in and checking out, as you can see here. Okay, so similarly, open, oops, I think I needed to do something there. So similarly, this is the same open from the local folders. So if you had a new design, new Inventor design in this case, open it and then check it in. This is where it's residing already in the vault. You would use open from vault. And then place from vault is for assemblies. So you can place a file that's already in the vault into your assembly using this option. Okay, the big thing to be aware of with Inventor, when using Vault with Inventor, is that there is a Vault project file that needs to be set. So this is an example, vault.ipj. And so the project file contains folder settings for your workspace, CAD standards, templates, and everything. So it's something that's needed, and it's needed for things like moving and keeping relationships between your files intact. So you need to first, on this slide, first download the project file from the Vault and then set it within Inventor. So there's a couple ways to set it, but just a heads up that this needs to be done. So if you're working on your own with this and it says something about your project file needing to be set, this is what this is all about. So once it's done, it's done. Okay, and I wanted to show here same list of Vault status icons here and with reference to the Vault browser. So the Vault status icon there, and then the document showing, if something's checked in or checked out. And that's what the black and normal is all about. Blue and bold means the file is checked out to you, and so forth. Okay, so this is our video for working with Inventor files. So in this case, we're going to use an open, and then when it prompts us to check it out, we are going to check it out and make a modification and then check it back in, all within the Inventor interface after selecting it, though, from the Vault client, as we can see here. So this is also an option. It automatically brings up Inventor for me. And now I go to the Vault browser, just right next to the model browser, and I can see that, yes, it's been checked out and downloaded because it has the circle there. And in this case, okay, I'm going kind of fast, I want to make a change to the hub part of that assembly. So I'm going to change that one dimension, make it a little smaller. And it knows automatically on the fly there that it needed to be checked out. So I just said yes, and it checked it out automatically. And you can see there, so the hub is checked out. Now it's been saved locally. I go back to the assembly, and now it needs to be saved. So before checking in, you need to save locally. And now I can, from the Vault browser, just do I can either check in from the Vault tab, or I can do it from the Vault browser here. And then check in. And then if you want to then check it back in the Vault client, you can, and you can see there that there's another version with that smaller diameter in that thumbnail picture that you can see. So that is working with Inventor files. I know I'm going pretty quickly. I see the time there. We just have a couple more things to go through, and then we can open it up for questions. But before that, so there is one more knowledge check.
Okay, here we go. So what is the name given to the area of the Vault add-in interface shown in the image below? Is it A, Vault Client, B, Vault Browser, C, XREF Manager, or D, Vault Ribbon? So again, for the purpose of this webcast, if you can put in either A, B, C, or D in the chat or Q&A window, and I'll have a look and see what's coming in. Okay, oh, I'm seeing lots of B's. Again, someone just said, oh, let's say B again. Some question marks beside the B's, we're not quite sure. But that seems to be the consensus on this one, Barb.
Way to go, everyone. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love the Vault browser. But yeah, it's very useful, and I'm glad I got that point across that definitely the Vault browser is useful. We've definitely heard from clients they love using it too. It really does show you a lot of information that you need, and you can do all your actions from it too. Okay, last thing here, responsive module. I was just going to show that quickly just to show that it's something that some of our clients have moved to when it comes to wanting some of their training onto, so that their users of Vault can use their phone or their iPads or so forth to view that training. So I'll just quickly show that. This is just a couple of screenshots from the module. So you can have the ability to create videos, to play videos. So you can have just your icons that play at full screen automatically. You could have a transcript of the video available with a PDF, and so just clicking it would bring that up. You can also have hands-on practices available, so even simulations can be done and changed to suit the different device sizes. And then, of course, your knowledge checks. So I'll just there we are. Just quickly show this. So we have the menu option. Everyone's kind of used to a menu to jump around, excuse me, in. Similar navigation to the module that we're in. And you can either slide, depending on the device that you have, or use the arrows there on the right and the left. Here's an example video. You could have a transcript to the right, or you can see those buttons to play the MP4. Hands-on practice I mentioned. So again, so this is a demo of somebody doing the actual simulation, so similar to what you've seen. But the point here is that it can be all available from whatever device you want. This is showing Anovia, if you happen to use that. We've done work with it. And I think I'll just close it and go back. So that was that. And then I think, Corrine, unless you wanted to say anything more, I'm just going to wrap things up. I was going to show this. Okay. Yeah. So this shows our product lineup for Autodesk Vault. So I mentioned about this one for Inventor users having already been released, and the Autocad one soon to be released. For those who are familiar with the Inventor users guide, the Autocad one is very similar, but the chapters that relate to Inventor, of course, are substituted with Autocad related info. And then all the other, so these Essentials series, those also contain administrative type functions for those who may not be familiar with them. And then we have the custom eLearning, custom modules, or anything custom. It doesn't have to be eLearning. And there's our contact information, and I think I will hand it over to you, Corrine. And
Great.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you, Barb. So just finally want to put up our contact information here so that you know how to reach us after this webcast. The purchasing information is up here, so for the training guides, the learning guides that Barb mentioned there, they can be purchased directly from our website, which is ASCENTed.com, or right from the eStore, ASCENTeStore.com. And if you want to reach out to us, have questions, or would like to talk to us about any customized content, of course, all that pricing varies depending on your needs. It's best to send us an email, or you can give us a call. So we'll leave this screen up here for our contact information, and we do thank everyone for attending today.